John Upton. I am a trustee of the Livewell Foundation and I'm chair of the subcommittee for grants. Livewell Foundation has just entering its 10th year of existence. It is set up by Livewell South West, and it's there to support local charities in the Plymouth, South Hams and West Devon area, primarily for the reduction of social isolation, improvement of mental health and physical health of the local residents. Each year we hope to give out about £100,000, so we're just coming up to £1 million give out over the last 10 years. They're subdivided into two types of grants. The large grants, as we call them, is anything up to £10,000 for the bigger projects. That's done on an annual basis, normally launched in October for elements that are being basically delivered next year. But we have every few months, we have the smaller grants. We're up to £1,000, which are obviously there to support the smaller charities as we go along.
My name is Hayley Everett and I am the charity manager for the Livewell Foundation. What I get really excited about is an application that really clearly spells out what they're trying to achieve. So it clearly spells out what the problem is that they're trying to solve and how their organisation or their project is going to help solve or make that issue better. So I think it's really useful to, first of all, map out 5 key things about your project. So the problem, first of all, that you're trying to solve. What is it, the situation or the issue that you're trying to solve? Then what are the activities, the outputs, the outcomes and the impact that your project is going to achieve? And if you can get all that down on paper, then you know that then you can craft a good application. There's nothing wrong with, once you've crafted an application question, putting that maybe into ChatGPT or AI, just to make sure that it sounds, that it's easy for the end user to read. We don't want to see any jargon or acronyms. Just make it really clear and simple. Ultimately, we all have outcomes that we're looking to achieve, and it's great that organisations will have certain outcomes they're looking to achieve from their projects or their organisation, but it's really important when putting an application in that those outcomes they're telling us about are in line with our own outcomes, because ultimately we have to make sure that we're reporting back up, that we have, through the projects that we funded, they need to be about reducing social isolation and improving mental and physical health. And so it's really important that organisations, their own outcomes, are in line with those. I think it's really important that organisations have thought about local healthcare strategies, whether, that can be national as well and regional, and that they're referencing that in their applications so that we know that it's been very well thought out and it's evidence-based.
My name's Carl Meyer and I am the Music Programme Director for Plymouth Music Zone. Plymouth Music Zone's been in receipt of some Livewell funding over the years. One of the projects was working alongside adults here at the building with various sort of mental health needs. The process of applying for grants nowadays and money and fundraising is an incredibly taxing experience for charity, particularly small charities like ourselves, where time is precious and we don't necessarily have teams of people able to work on these things. And I think that when it comes to smaller grants, like Livewell grants, it's a really nice entry point for small charities to kind of be able to find something that fits them well and doesn't take too long to explore or get into or apply for. And for those projects and those grants, Livewell was a really great fit and a really good sort of collaborator in terms of the work that we ended up doing and the people that ended up receiving the creative work at the end of it.
So I'm Sean Jennings and I'm a Director of Chronic Pain Coaching, CIC. When people come into the cafe, you can see that they're in pain. It's written in their face. We get people actually crying when they come in and find that we can give some help, and because we live with pain ourselves, we have that empathy to pass on to others, and giving other people that hope that they can do the same is really special and powerful. The funding makes so much more difference because we just wouldn't be able to do it. If you don't apply and you don't do the form, you don't get the money, you don't help the people. It's as simple as that.
My name's Amy Bull. I'm a freelance fundraiser. So I often do some research as a fundraiser on, especially with local charities such as Drake Sailing, and I heard about the Livewell Foundation and thought, well, that actually would be great. I found that when I looked at their aims and objectives, I did find that we were aligned with what they were looking for. They clearly stated isolation, vulnerability. So straight away, it was quite straightforward. I could see it listed on their website, and also what I really liked, they said what they do and don't fund, which I think is really clear and really helpful. I would say definitely go for it. Go for it because they're a great foundation and they support some great projects.